Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the John Bierchen Show. I am play-by-play voice Kendall Grayson, joined as always by head coach John Bierchen. Coach, today we'll start out with our Twitter question, and it comes from Russ Gaddy on Twitter, and he would like to know, what are the chances of the Alabama hockey program moving to a Tuscaloosa rink?
Well, every week there's always a new development in that saga. I know it's been kind of mentioned and thrown around a lot over the years, and it continues to be, but I think we are always being aggressive with everything we do and trying to improve the program. So I'm assuming, in the next few weeks and few months that you'll be hearing kind of more and details kind of maybe coming out about, plans that we have with working with different organizations on campus. So, sit tight and definitely watch because something in the near future will certainly come up.
Coach, our next question comes from Doug Shue on Twitter, and he has recently seen an increase in blue line scoring. So he'd like to know, what are the reasons for that?
Well, kind of like we've talked about all year, it certainly is something that we've wanted out of our defensemen to be a lot more involved in the offense. So really they've done a good job in two separate areas. One, on the rush and joining the rush and being an option there, but also, too, you got to give a lot of our credit to our forwards who are able to possess the puck down low in the offensive zone and then move it up to the points, and they get to the net, and that opens up shooting lanes for the defensemen to get the shots through.
Well, Coach, we always try to touch on a hot topic of the week here on the Coach's Show, and earlier this week, the head coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets, John Tortorella, announced to the media that he would no longer be forcing the team to have morning skates the mornings before their game. So in that interview, he talks about several things, not only getting rest for his players, but overcoaching and things like that. So I know that you've seen the clip as well. So what are your thoughts on Coach Tortorella and some of his thoughts towards overcoaching and getting his players enough rest throughout the week?
Well, I will say this. The Tampa Bay Lightning video coach, Nigel Kerwin, who's a big supporter of the program, one of the first things he told me when I started coaching a few years back was, it's better to undercoach than overcoach. You don't want to give people too much information and have them thinking too much on the ice. So, when it comes to like morning skates and overcoaching, kind of, you look at our practice schedule this week. We had Monday off, and then Tuesday we had a pretty intense scrimmage just because we wanted to focus on, executing in certain areas. So we wanted to get the guys in a live situation, but instead of going for an hour and a half, we went for, a quick 45 minutes and then got them home, get them rest and stuff. And then, Wednesday we got back to work, and then Thursday, we're going to have just an up-tempo practice today. So, when it comes to like overcoaching and stuff, you just want to try to avoid doing it. You want to communicate as much information in a small amount of time. When we do video sessions, Coach John Jacobs has a team for 8 to 10 minutes at the most, once or twice a week. If we do anything before games, it's usually 2 or 3 minute clips at most. So that's kind of what you really want to focus on for long-term development, and you want to be able to give guys off the days off as much as possible throughout the week, depending on the situation. So like this week, we have 3 games in 3 days, so this is a week where we wanted to get those days off and practice a little bit shorter throughout the week. And then when we come back from break, we'll be out there a little bit longer because we're trying to get back into shape, and we only have 2 games, so it's more of a normal week. So it always depends on the situation, but Tortorella's right. You don't want to overcoach, and then you want to give the guys as many days off as possible.
Coming up Friday and Saturday, Alabama takes the road against the Missouri State Ice Bears, and then on Sunday, a big rivalry game against Arkansas at the Jones Center. Coach, I know that you played in that rivalry. You know that Alabama and Arkansas have a long history of not only playing each other, but having some of the better games of the entire season when those two teams take to the ice. So if you could, just speak about that rivalry game that's coming up on Sunday and how important it is for these two teams to play each other every year.
Well, I think it's really exciting for both fan bases. Clearly, we're the only 2 SEC schools that are ACHA D1 programs. So, there's a big rivalry there. And, Coach Galini and I find it so important that, we did confirm this week that next year we will play 2 games in Alabama and 2 games in Arkansas. So, we both agree that it's important for both the programs and the fan bases. So, it's always really exciting to go there. I got to go there when I played. It's a great atmosphere. It's a smaller rink, so it's always a tight matchup, and they always have a lot of fan support. So I look forward to going back there. It's certainly going to be a little bit different standing on the bench rather than just being dressed in your gear, but I'm sure it'll be just as exciting, and the atmosphere will be phenomenal. So we're really looking forward to going there this weekend, and then I'm really looking forward to renewing that rivalry next year, both at home and on the road again.
Fans, stay tuned to AlabamaHockeyClub.com for all the broadcast information for this weekend's games. For John Bierchen, I am Kendall Grayson. Thanks for watching this week's John Bierchen Show.